everybody, and welcome to What? Three Dads and a Console. What? We know not every dad can stay up to date on the latest and greatest in video game news. What? That you need to know about. So we are here to do it for you. What? Remember, this show is kid friendly, so no earmuffs are needed. What? Now on with the show. I'm one of your hosts, Wobble Plays, alongside Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Wow. Mildly chilly Steve Boston, legally distinct.
There you go. Oh, okay. Oh, that's right. Don't sue us. I'm here with Court. Hello, Court.
Hi.
What? Hi.
Dude, okay. I'm
not happy to be here.
I'm
done with that bit. It was
one more time. When I see you next week, I will punch you in the face.
That's fair. You know what?
Like,
that's
so
fair.
quick.
Oh,
yeah.
Stunner.
So we are also joined by the Paz Hell. Hi. White bandana today.
Good day. Yeah, it got washed, so it's nice and clean. And I had post gym shower hair, so it was all over the place.
Is that like a mood ring? Like,
yeah, it was all black because my body hates itself after going to the gym.
Fair. And we are also joined once again by Wrestling Matt from Assemble. Hello.
Hi. What? Hi. How are you? Good to see you. Hi, Court.
I can
How
see
are you?
Court's
You seem-
blood pressure just
I know.
slightly rising.
He's like, I'm just out of here. I'm just playing a game.
The vein is getting bigger and bigger.
For those who don't know, I think the past 8 to 10 minutes, Matt's been doing his Stone Cold impression, and
Court hates me.
I don't know. It just brought back simpler times, memories of, you know, the 90s,
Exactly.
and the Attitude Era, and I miss those days.
Oh,
Court's
my
beady
favorite
little ass.
I wish we could get them back, but here we are. Now we're here to talk about the future of wrestling.
All right.
WWE or 2K. Oh God, 2K24.
Yeah,
Correct.
that's all. Those are all the words.
Those are all the words. I don't know.
You can put them together, and it's a game. It's a video game.
It's a video.
But yeah, so tell us about your impressions. Last time you were on, you told us a little bit about what you could, and about the experience that you had, being able to preview it. But now you've actually got your hands on the game, so let the folks know what to expect.
It's a good game, and I like the game, and the game was fun, and now I'm done. Bye.
5-second review.
What? What? Done.
Could fit it on the back of the box. Game was good.
Game was good. Had fun.
I think it's a lot of fun. There are some issues with it. So, for example, I'll talk about some goods and bads. We'll make a little sandwich here, Court, since you're wanting to hang out with us today. We don't need Court anymore, do we, guys? We can just.
We always need Court. I got you, Court. Don't worry.
That's right.
A little attitude in his pants. But the goods and the bads, honestly, I think overall it's a very well-rounded game. They've taken it up a notch with what they've done from 22 to 23, and now with 24, it's kind of like the evolution of that. And from gameplay, it's solid. I think that most of the modes deliver. There are some gaps in it. I think Showcase, which is the 40 years of WrestleMania, where you play through as a bunch of your favorite wrestlers, the Hall of Famers like Stone Cold Steve Austin, and you go through as Hulk Hogan brother and everybody else in between. It's fun, but it's been a big critique for a lot of people, at least in wrestling community, that they're like, it's kind of flat, it's underwhelming. Some of the unlockables for it are meh. But if you're looking for nostalgia for that, of like, I just want to play through some really fun WrestleMania moments, yeah, you're going to get that, and you're going to have a good time with it. It's when you start drilling down with it that people are kind of like, meh, they're nitpicking a lot of stuff. And I do agree that there are some things with that specific mode that I'm like, it's not the most favorite thing. They could have done a little bit better. But there's a lot of good stuff. General manager mode is a lot of fun this year, where you can actually go through, manage contracts, do trades, manage the whole thing. The card system and the card game that they have there online now, like every other game does, like MLB The Show that we'll talk about later with Court. So he'll join us there. Not now, but later. It's actually improved a heck of a lot, because I don't know, like Pez, if you played it or touched it at all, the My Faction mode that was like the last 2 years, it was not great. Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't touched it yet. I heard last year it wasn't good, so I haven't had the time to fully jump into My Faction. I've been focusing mostly on the Showcase so far. Few things about the Showcase that I love the transition from in-game to video. As you like complete these objectives, which I'll talk about in a minute, those objectives. Oh boy. It has video of the match, real life video. Excuse me. One of the things that threw me off was there's no commentary in these videos.
Yeah.
It's just like, so like the whole Andre Hogan match from WrestleMania 3, right? You like throw him up against the ropes. It's one of your objectives, and then it goes into a full screen video of the actual match, but it's the crowd noise from 2K24. So it's a little like disjointed, because as you would think you'd have like Gorilla Monsoon or and Jesse Ventura,
you would just pull the
being
commentary from it,
just being like, oh my god, I can't believe he slammed him, and all that stuff. One of the things I do not like about Showcase is I'm currently stuck in WrestleMania 13, which is Steve Austin and Bret Hart.
Yeah.
And one of the objectives is put him in the sharpshooter, right? Put Steve Austin in the sharpshooter. It's supposed to go into that iconic moment where he's bleeding, he's reaching for the thing. Steve Austin taps out, and I fail. And I'm like, what has happened? No, he should not, because it's like a 3-second delay for that to trigger.
Oh.
And he just taps out right away. And I was like, come on, man.
So I'll tell you after, but there's go into the settings in the sliders. You can adjust submission rates and like put them way down for the AI. So like you'll be okay.
Yeah.
And then just put that on easy and you'll get through it. But I have heard those things too, Pez, of like it's those little things you're like, what? Like I was getting tapped out in 3 to 4 different matches by the AI, and I was trying hard to win the thing, and I would lose every time. So there's things like that, and I think like what you're gonna say too is with the Showcase, the one thing they fixed one thing and then they kind of wonked it a little, in my opinion, where so the objectives, it will tell you on screen, guys, where it's like, okay, throw your guy into the southwest corner, then put him up on the turnbuckle and do a move and and press this button, all in like one line of text that's up in the left-hand corner, and it's tiny, and stuff's happening all at the exact same time too. Like you're trying to do other objectives. So what happened last year is they would have the Showcase, and that stuff would be like, to do what's the next move to do, you'd have to hit pause and then look at the menu, and it would say, okay, press B and up, do that move, and then this move. And you're like, okay, you're constantly pressing pause. So it broke the experience. Now they fixed it, so that's on screen, but now it's this elongated text where it's, here's your story of what your next thing is. And it screws people up because they're just like, what? I got to go to the northeast corner on the outside of the ring. And then you think you do it, and you're like, I'm doing the thing, and nothing's triggering. So yeah, Pez, there's some of that where I was like, okay, those are things they gotta like try to tweak if they do it next year.
Yeah. Definitely.
But yeah. Some of it was like a little bit not too great. But I thought moment to moment, yeah, it was good. I do agree with you. Losing commentary is also a negative because that's part of it. It's hearing Jim Ross, it's hearing Gorilla Monsoon.
Yeah, but did they not have the licensing?
That would probably be it. That's my
like
guess.
I know, like what's his name, the guy with the mustache, the bald guy, Mean Gene Okerlund.
Yeah.
Like they blur his face out in videos and stuff like that. Like
yeah,
there is,
and the referees, and
there is a lot of blurring in the early part of Showcase.
It's because let's be honest here.
Yep.
Vince McMahon has a very strong track record of not treating people well on the way out. So then people don't want to work with WWE. Like The Rock coming back has a lot to do with The Rock getting a piece of the action.
Well, so it's a few things. One, WWE doesn't own the license for WWF anymore, so they can't show that. Two, like Earl Hebner is in a lot of these matches, but he might be. I don't know if is he currently working?
No, he's
so
not.
They
even,
probably just didn't want to pay
with
him.
WWE.
They probably just didn't want to pay him because
if they don't have like a Legends deal with a lot of these people, yeah, that's one of the factors. It's like, okay, if Earl Hebner was still a contracted legend with the company, they might turn around and say, okay, can we also license you or do that so then we can use your face on blurred?
Yeah, because even like in the Seth Rollins Randy Orton match, like J&J Security's down at the ring, And
Yeah.
Jamie Noble is a WWE trainer, but his face is
Yeah.
blurred in all the video. So it's like,
And he's not in the game
yeah,
because he's
so
not a
it's-
playable character either in the game.
Right. So
Yeah.
it's just it is a little distracting at times when it goes to the full video and all of a sudden it's like The Rock and Steve Austin like beating each other up at WrestleMania 17 and Earl's face is just blurred. Like he's in the documentary of a murderer, but he's just the guy on the side. So they blurred his face so they don't show him. It's just like, I'm like,
He's the
man,
witness.
Yeah, half of these people are witness protection.
can I get a witness? But I mean, overall, Showcase is fun, but there are some of those things that really like immediately took me out of it because you started off with Randy Savage and Ricky Steamboat, and that like it kicks it off, and losing the commentary is a big part of it because whenever they show like these famous clips that you're watching in 2K24, you have commentary. You know, in WrestleMania, when they do the highlight packages, all this stuff, it's all the exact same clip, and losing the commentary and just hearing like a droning crowd sound is kind of can take you out of it.
Yeah, that's probably the one critique too, is like they have one thing they did a couple of years ago in 2K19 or 18 around there. Excuse me, I'll go even further back. One of them was like 2K16. I think Austin was on the cover, but that one was like Attitude Era Showcase. But they had, instead of doing the cutscenes to the real footage, they just motion captured everything in game. So you were still in the video game as Austin versus Rock and McMahon and all of that. And you just played through the moment, and you had the commentary of King and JR from the actual match. So for me, that was like those were my favorite ones to play because they just used all of that commentary, the real stuff from the match. And yeah, because that just draws you in versus kind of like cut. Here's your scene. There's no audio. There's some little bit of music playing, and you're kind of like, okay, I'm gonna get back to the match now and keep going. But I mean, there are little things and there's stuff that they can improve on. I think for sure for next year. I think they did a good job. I think some of the complaints are that it's 21 matches and it's 40 years of Mania. So like they can't get a match for every WrestleMania.
Right.
So some people felt like they should have done more. I think there's always going to be
they match.
Well, Cord, it's like you can go through and you can see which ones they post out there, but there's like, I don't know, 8, 9.
They didn't put in
10,
they
13, like, or 12 and
iconic Steiner Brothers versus Money Inc. from WrestleMania 9. How dare they?
No, I know.
How dare they?
There's so many, but again, it's licensing and it's what they can, and it's also what WWE wants to literally showcase.
Right.
What matches they approve, what they want to be highlighting. So you get a lot of newer stuff. Like it's a mix of old and new. And frankly, no one's ever going to be happy because guys like me are going to be like, I want everything Attitude Era and 80s. And then the next person's like, screw you. I want everything John Cena and beyond that and Randy Orton. So it's right. You can't see
Didn't
him.
even like I don't know John Cena as a wrestler in the WWE. I know him as the guy on TV.
You know,
That's really funny.
Peacekeeper.
Wow.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of people
Peacemaker,
like
is that
that's
his name?
Like I know he is from the like. It's not that I don't get this when people
you can't see me, and
I
it
was
gives
like
it,
his taunt.
then gives you an attitude
And it's just
adjustment.
the 5-knuckle shuffle.
It's the Hulk Hogan.
Yeah,
It's so funny because he just goes in front of them. They're on the ground like dead, and he's like, "You can't see me." It's like I literally can.
But it's Hulk Hogan. Go, what you gonna do, brother? But the rest of the game, guys, aside from Showcase, did a lot of good things, and then some stuff. Yeah, we've critiqued that. I think they can improve on. The biggest things they have done is overall with gameplay, and it's kind of like the big theme for me this year when I did my review on my channel was that it's quality of life improvements. So it's a lot of little things as someone who plays the game every single year and goes through every kind of little thing with it. And this year I was lucky enough I could talk to the developers and get feedback and I actually ask them like, what changed? What are you highlighting? You know, what's kind of the big things here? And it's just kind of small stuff. Like Pez will appreciate it, but you're gonna do like chair shots, and there's just more blood now. So like before you get little gashes in the head and a little bit, and it would always trickle kind of the same spot. Now it goes in like different body like parts of the head, and then it dribbles on the mat. So now you get blood splatters on the mat as the match goes deeper and deeper. A lot of the mechanics have been cleaned up. It's not perfect. There's still stuff right now that is like people
Mr.
waiting
Perfect?
for patches. He's not in the game. No,
Shame.
no, we wished.
Is he's part of like the cocaine era, right?
Most are.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
No,
yes,
we've all seen
definitely.
the document. It's not like Jimmy Superfly Snuka is like Jimmy Superfly.
He's done a few
so
errors.
high. He's super high.
Have you ever watched Dark Side of the Ring?
No, not yet.
Oh, it's so
Oh.
good.
Oh, it's so good. You have seasons to watch. My
Spoiler
friend.
alert on
Seasons.
Chris Benoit. No, I'm joking.
Oh God.
Oh, no. There's a lot, but yeah, there's a lot of quality of life stuff, and I think they did a very good job. Resounding like reviews are like 8 out of 10, 8.5 out of 10. So I think they took the culmination of the last 2 years.
Culmination,
and then they built off of it. They learned from it, and then they kind of like they nailed a lot of stuff this year.
And one thing that like really impressed me, I haven't played a wrestling game since 2K20. No, 19, because 20 was a mess and I didn't get 20.
Yes.
The models are incredible. Like the detailing with the models and the staging and all the graphical stuff during the match is very, very good. Like I did my first match was Cody Rhodes, and you know, he comes out and he does like they got the music and the crowd does the oh, and I was like, wow, this is actually very, very good. Impressively good. I didn't think it would look and sound as good as it does.
So the presentation is phenomenal.
Yeah,
presentation it's as high as I think they can get it, because they still put it on PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, which to me probably holds it back. I know, but the install base is massive, so I get it, and it's an annual game, right? So like anything else, like NHL or anything else, it's like got to feed it to everything.
Look at FIFA. It till 2017 was still on PS3.
Yeah. So they got to go with the audience, but yeah, it looks so good despite it still having limitations and issues there. But even little things that like I love, you do a match, and if you're doing big moves, the crowd, you see all the lights for the photography of all the cameras going off and all the flash bulbs go off. They didn't have that last year and last couple of years. Like it might have had a little bit, but they've like doubled it. Or like now you can do title matches in like basically every match you want to do, because we couldn't before. So stuff that were in previous years, they bring it back and it's in there. But there's 4 new match types, which is really cool. You got casket match, you got the ambulance match, you've got the special guest referee, and the gauntlet matches. And special referee is probably most people's like favorite thing to do to mess around, because you can be the referee, you can be a good ref, a bad ref, you can go in, you can turn it off too if you just want to be a big jerk, and you could go and you could just start wailing on everybody in the match. You could do fast counts, and you could do really slow ones too. So
I love it.
Messing around with friends and doing it that way is a lot of fun. And I love like gauntlet matches where it's just you want to go up against 4 guys or like up to 30, and you just go one after another. And if you win, you just keep going. You keep going until you lose, basically. There's a lot in there. So again, not everything's perfect, but they're at least working on a lot of the patches already for what people need. Because like the creation suite, people have some problems, and there's glitches, and all the first week, 2 weeks of headaches. So that knocks it a bit all the time. But yeah, overall, guys, I'd say they did an excellent job this year. Still room for improvement, but I'm having fun. And like one of the things I've said to other people, I'm like, I'm just having a good time, because for sometimes it kind of wears off really quick, and then you're like, yeah, okay, I'm gonna do the same season modes and the franchise stuff, and you just like you kind of get into your thing. This I'm having just fun, just pick up and play, do some matches, watch the entrances, do a Royal Rumble, and yeah, I'm just having fun. And some years it's not. You're like, oh, this is really glitched, but
yeah,
it's good.
Yeah,
glitchy.
Actually, we had one question in the chat. Who's your favorite new superstar in the game?
I don't know. Who's yours? I don't know. Pez, who would you say yours is? A
Oh,
new
man.
superstar in the game? Hard to say. Like who I like to play as? I'm more old. I'm Attitude Era. So like I'll go in most days and I'm like, I'm playing as Austin, Rock, Triple H, Mankind.
Yeah, those are the guys.
Undertaker.
I don't have everyone unlocked. If I did, I would use Bret Hart all the time. He's my favorite. The GOAT.
Is he in the game?
Yeah.
There's 2 versions of Bret Hart in the
versions.
game.
Is Jimmy Anvil in it as well? Can I do the Hart brothers?
Yes. The Hart Foundation's in there. Oh, Pez, you know what they do have? And you will like this. You will appreciate
What
this.
do they got?
You'll unlock it, but you'll be able to recreate NWO Wolfpack with the NWO
I like that.
Wolfpack theme
The
song.
Wolfpack.
We've got original NWOs in there,
With
but they actually put
the
in
actual
Wolfpack
red.
theme song. It's the bet with the Titantron. It's red and
love it.
black with the NWO
love it.
logo.
I love it.
Those are the days,
Beautiful.
man.
I love it.
Yeah, that's all I do now is I just play Nitro.
My favorite superstar to use so far is LA Knight.
Oh,
You mean
yeah.
It's the best.
Just
LA
me,
Knight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did see some comments on your
Yeah.
video. You were around before he was, so you know what?
Yeah.
He's
Well,
a man.
he was wrestling much longer than I was wrestling, but
Yeah, but I didn't hear of him first.
no, well now he's in WWE, so
I
he's
only
much
know
more
of him
mainstream.
because of Matt.
Who,
Like,
LA
I
Knight?
literally had no clue who he was.
Do you mean TNA's Eli Drake?
Eli Drake, dummy. Yeah. Eli Drake is the best.
Eli
All
Drake.
his promos are amazing.
He
You guys
Yeah,
are
I
when-
get that.
you
I
guys
get
are
that
talking,
daily.
like, gibberish right
when
now.
he came as LA Knight, I was like, no, just call him Eli Drake. That's who he is.
I know.
But
He's so good.
Who's
I
Eli?
love it.
I'm
so
confused.
LA
They
Knight,
gotta switch him up.
LA Knight was wrestling in TNA and his name was Eli Drake.
That's a terrible name.
It
Then he
worked for
became
him.
Law
It worked,
Knight.
man.
Really?
He became La Knight.
La Knight.
Bad name. It's like it sounds like he's from like the backwoods. He might as well just be like, you know, an
Festus,
Alabama.
it was Festus all along.
Oh my goodness. So we've talked about one new game, but there's another new game that we're going to be talking about. Court,
Yes,
tell us about your experience with your most recent.
I have been actually currently playing Rise of the Ronin. I can only speak as of right now. Next Friday I can speak to all of it, but as of right now I can only speak to the first 120 minutes of the game. A couple hours in. It's up to a specific mission in the game where I can talk about, so I can do general about the game. So this is my first Team Ninja game that I've ever played. I never played Neo. I never played Neo 2. I never played any of those Souls-like games. I actually saw someone coin a phrase in a video the other day calling Soul-less, but not in a bad way. So like there's Souls-like and there's Souls games, Soulsborne, Souls-like, Souls-light, and I would say this is Souls-less because there's difficulty settings. Now, before everybody gets their little panties in a bunch, because a lot of people get so mad when these games do this, the developer is the one that chose to put difficulty settings in the game, which made it more accessible for more people to play. I truly think that more people will play this game than any other Souls, like maybe not Elden Ring, but like way more than Bloodborne. I think this game's going to sell very well. I'm a huge fan of Assassin's Creed. It has a lot of those tendencies. So there is a map, there's a lot of pinpoints on the map, but I wouldn't say the map is cluttered in any way, shape, or form. It doesn't take a really long time to get across the map as well. And also each area doesn't level up with you. So when you first start the game, you're gonna die. Like you're gonna die a lot. It's all a parry system. That's how the combat works. It's a Souls-like for the combat. But as you level up, you can go back to that area and just mow down people. If you want to farm XP, go farm XP. Like you can definitely go do that. I wouldn't recommend it. It would, because the story is very well done, but the combat is so good. Like I'm actually shocked how good it is in the parry system, and that's what these games are about. That's what everybody tells me. These Souls-like games, the combat is what the game's all about. The mechanics for it, the traversal, the combos you can do. You get a grappling hook where you can go up into the top of a rooftop and you can actually like assassinate a guy by pulling him up with the grappling hook and then choking him out and breaking his neck. And when I'd say break
my
his neck,
goodness.
you literally hear the snap of the bones. Because another thing about Souls likes and Neo and Team Ninja games, and people, I don't know if you realize Ninja Gaiden is Team Ninja.
Mhm.
Like they're gory. So
Gory and
in
violent.
very violent. This game is extremely violent for the dads out there. You can never play this in front of kids. You are chopping off heads, limbs, legs, arms. You are chopping off everything on people, and it's not like you just like the head falls. There's blood everywhere. Like I'm actually surprised they don't have it where the blood just goes on the screen. There's that much blood going on at
Whoa.
all times in this.
Whoa.
Yeah, there's a lot of blood. It reminds me of perfect example. It's Kill Bill. Like it's just like when you slice a guy's head off, it's just like, and then you have this thing called ki, which is like your energy, your stamina almost. But if you press R1 and down, you take your sword and you'll actually whip the blood onto the ground and cleans
Sick.
your sword off, and the blood is actually on the ground. Like it's It is
Very
very
violent.
good. Like you're using a katana. I'm using there's different types of guys you can use. And actually if you use like the I'm not even using the easiest one. It pretty much calls you makes fun of you in the description, which is hilarious. But I am using the easiest difficulty level. There's 3 difficulty levels. I did put it up on the hardest difficulty and I was getting annihilated. Like
Waxed.
absolutely just destroyed because there are some big enemies that have like almost look like Wolverine. He's got like these claws on either hand and he's just coming at you and he just destroys you. But they also give you a glider to traverse around so you can jump off buildings and you can glide down. You could even press and call your horse so that when you're on your glider, you can transition right onto your horse as you're landing on the ground. It's actually really cool. My one criticism I will forgive this game, and people tell me this is a Team Ninja thing, the graphics aren't the best.
Mm.
Let's be honest here, but I'm putting it on performance mode because I want the frames because I think for the combat you need it. The combat is great. I don't feel like I'm doing the same thing over and over again. But like I said, when you're going into the world, there's draw distance. You can see it. There's pop-ins everywhere. Like it happens a lot. You can put on ray tracing and do all that kind of stuff, but then you're throwing the game into 30 frames per second. And I don't think a game like this, you can play it with that because the maps isn't big, so it's nonstop action no matter where you are. Like everywhere you turn, someone's trying to kill you, whether it's an animal or an enemy. Someone's trying to kill you at all times. And I heard that's what it's like in like Elden Ring and all that. You'll see this guy off in the distance, and there's this samurai just like sitting in a field, and you're just like, do I go up to him or is he gonna kill me? Like, because he's probably gonna kill me. He's gonna try and kill me. So like if you see people, they're sitting in front of a shrine or something like that, there's shrines all over the place where you can level up from. But if you go up to that shrine, sometimes there's people there and they're going to try and kill you. Just know that everybody's trying to kill you.
Like
But
real life.
I'm really
Yeah.
enjoying it. I'm almost enjoying it enough that I'm like, should I try like Neo or Neo 2? But I know I shouldn't.
Or it's coming to Elden Ring.
Mm, I don't. So that's my issue because what happens is when right now where I am, actually, you know, it doesn't matter. I can't talk about it. But the difficulty can spike on you, right? So, but I will say that they've done a phenomenal job with the story because this game is all about choices. It is a choose your own adventure. You
Hmm.
can make a choice if you're going to be shogunate or anti-shogunate, and you can actually be almost like Infamous. If you want to be good or you want to be bad, it chooses you. And at the same time, what is good and what is bad? Because it's everybody's perception on what they think is good, on what the history of Japan is. Do you want to let the Western world in, or do you not want to let the Western world in? So do you want to kill all the Americans or the French, or do
Yeah,
you not want to
obviously.
do it?
Yeah.
Like, and you
Oh.
can actually go down that because you're making friends. You develop these bonds with characters that you meet along the way, and based on your choices, things will happen in the world. So I find that very cool. It's a lot like Mass Effect, where
Mhm.
your choices have consequences. So
Hmm.
this game, everything has a choice. There's a dialogue tree pretty much for everything, and you can actually go back and go through your conversation before you make a choice to see where you've been going with that person the whole time you've been talking to them in the game
I like that
and where
a
you're
lot.
leaning. You can romance, all that stuff's in the game. And one of the collectibles is a cat. You pet cats. So
I'm
for
in.
people that like, yeah, like you can go
I'm
around and
in.
pet cats, which is very cool. The setting is unbelievable. Yokohama, it's 1853 to the late 1800s.
It's a
Um,
fantastic time period.
well, for
Big in
someone who
Japan.
plays Assassin's Creed, I've always wanted like, you know, Assassin's Creed Samurai. I
Yeah.
think this is the most Assassin's Creed Samurai game we've ever gotten, both with an arcadey feel, like early Assassin's Creed combat
Mm.
type arcadey feel. Because you can level yourself up and you don't really need to buy anything from the vendors that you'll see in the world because you'll collect enough things and you can upgrade your equipment.
I can tell. I can tell the game grab Court when he said this game is so bleeping hard, but I can't stop playing it. And Court is
I
not
can't.
someone who likes hard games.
No, I don't like them at all. Like I'm actually frustrated that we're going away because this is also a game where I want to clear the map. And because we're going away, I don't know if like I want to finish it in time. Like it's so tough. Like I'm having a great time playing it. The first 2 hours of this game hook you. I can't stop playing. This is the first game I would say since Spider-Man 2 that I just want to keep playing. Like I don't want to stop playing this game. Like they did a very good job. Team Ninja, you sold me. I don't know. This is the best open world game we've gotten so far this year. We've got a lot of live service games, right? Like that's what's
Yeah.
hooking everybody. I haven't played the new content in Helldivers 2. I don't have a mech. I don't even know what it looks like.
It's pretty cool.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, I'm positive it's awesome, but I just haven't had time.
I just started New Game Plus on Spider-Man 2.
That's a game I still haven't played yet.
Ooh.
It's on my list. It's on my list.
Went back 'cause I haven't touched it since. Like since it came out, beat it the first time, 100% it. New Game Plus.
How the new looking
Jump back
suits?
in.
There's like
They
new
have-
suits with it, right?
Has it on New Game Minus?
I have the two.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
bought them. Just
Did
the
you?
Oh,
$4.99
okay.
goes will go to charity.
I didn't buy
They're
those.
like 1990 suits. I love them.
Okay.
Nice.
You can get, but there's other alts you can now grind for with your
Grind.
skills. Grind it.
Oh,
And you can get more like symbiote suits, different alts for
PlayStation.
them in the game.
put it on PC.
So good. It's so good,
Soon.
dude. I went back, Cord. I'm like 2 hours in again. I think I'm past the
It's-
beginning with Harry.
It's such a good game.
It's just good. It's just enjoyable. The sound design in it, everything. I just feel like Spider-Man. I'm like, this is what I need sometimes. It's like
We don't want to talk about rumors and talk about leaks, but he brought up Spider-Man.
Oh my
Did
god, the
everybody-
Great Web.
Oh my god!
All right, for
Now
those that don't know,
I get why it was canceled because that's millions and millions and millions of dollars to make that game work.
Yeah.
Unless we all give it a lot of money. But damn, did that ever look good?
there was a canceled co-op Spider-Man game akin to like Across the Spider-Verse.
Dude, it was Across the Spider-Verse.
And yeah, shame because it looked pretty rad.
I think Rad is
rad.
like holding
Look,
it like
I'm rewatching the trailer and I'm like, it's such a shame.
it
Yeah,
looks
it really is.
so good.
It really
You want
is.
a
Not-
multi-person online, basically a co-op Spider-Man game where
Yeah,
you and your buddies
I
can
mean-
all be Spider-Man and run around the city. Come on.
You have to
That's all you
wonder-
ever want.
You have to wonder if like Suicide Squad played a part in that.
I think you
mean-
can go back to Gotham Knights and be like,
Yeah.
people look at that and then they go, then we got Suicide Squad after that, and it was just one after another, and then this is canceled. You know what? It could all be a blessing where they look at something like this, they see fan reaction, and they go, could we take this and mold it and then 3 to 5 years and be like, you know what? We are able to do this. It's going to be different than the original idea, but we've found a way to balance. Like, people I think are sick of the microtransacting and the way those
100%.
games, like
You can
the
get to
way
it properly.
Suicide Squad is built.
Yeah,
Perfect
100%.
example. Helldivers 2 is done properly. One,
okay.
the marketing behind this game has been some of the best marketing I have seen from a video game in years. The way they announce new things or actually play it, like the fact that they brought in flying bugs and then the developers of the game and the
The CEO is like
CEO jokes online and is
bug
like, I don't
enthusiast
think
or
it's
something
real.
like that. Yeah.
Yeah,
But he's
bugs
also
don't fly.
joking, bugs don't fly. I don't think it's real. People show us. Like, he has been so smart. I've seen fan trailers that people are making for like new content that's coming out, and they're just using it. They're like asking the guy, and they're just using the videos. Like, people are doing a phenomenal job, and they're hooked us. People like it. People are playing with friends, and they're having a good time. Suicide Squad Kills the Justice League is just asking you for money over and over and over and over again. Helldivers 2 doesn't do that.
Nope.
Even Skull and Bones, when you're going in the regular shop, it has the stuff you can buy and the stuff you don't like. You think you can buy these cosmetics, and it was asking for money the whole time. I don't like that stuff. It's predatory.
And like Matt said, I feel like there is a large group of gamers now who are sick of it, and they're just not going to deal with it.
But they've seen it too. Like, I think too, it's been done over and over. It's not a new approach to trying to monetize the consumer. You have a generation of people that have grown up with it, that are aware of it, and further back than that, people that are like, I don't want to do that. I know exactly what this is. They go, they look at the market, they look at the game, they go, I know exactly what that thing is going to be. It's going to be a 6 out of 10 or a 5 out of 10, and you are going to ask me for money constantly. I don't want that. I want that. But and it's an option for people that like to do that. They want to grind and put money into that thing. Okay, fine. Then they got other options. Like, I'm gonna go for story mode games. Do that. There's something for everybody.
Mhm.
Not
That's
the days
not
of
wrong.
Blockbuster. It's not the days of Blockbuster, man. My wife and I were talking about that the other day. Of like, because the kids don't know anything. The kids are trash. They don't know renting things. They have no idea. And I'm like, dude, we just go. You get the movie, the game for the weekend. Then you get a 3-day rental sometimes. And that blew your mind because you were like, oh, I got my game. I got the Batman Returns game. The beat 'em up, the side scroller.
Until you're
I
like,
got Maximum Carnage for the weekend.
I'm going to Blockbuster and I'm going to rent WrestleMania 2000 and it's never there. It's never there.
No. There's always 2 copies. They're never there.
Always gone. Always gone. The guy's like, ugh, Johnny took it out again and won't be back for 3 days. I'm like, well, my weekend's ruined.
Freaking Johnny, man.
I guess I'll take this crap game of whatever. Superman 64. This looks great. I love Superman. Let's
I
play
flying
this.
through rings all day.
I love
in the
rings.
fog.
I used to get so many games from Blockbuster, and my favorite that I remember, not just Clay Fighter 63 and a third, but the special edition that is now one of the most valuable N64 games that I just wish I stole it. Because whatever price that we would have had to pay then, it's
Pales in comparison.
super rare. Exactly. But I remember that being able to try all those cool
Batman
games.
and Robin is like $300. Why is that?
Oh my god, I loved
it
that
really?
game on Sega Genesis.
It's on Super Nintendo. No one
It's
likes
also on
Sega
Sega Genesis. I had a Sega Genesis because I enjoyed the
think
chunky
you
Genesis
keep talking
kids.
about
No,
it.
Genesis kids are all that. They're like, we
Yeah.
also have it. You're like, no.
Yeah,
you don't.
no, you
Oh,
didn't.
I'm sorry. I didn't know it was on a Super Nintendo because I
You
didn't
got your
own one.
Sonic. Hey,
I
have
had
fun
my
with
Sonic. I had
yeah.
my super chunky beats. I'm
You know what?
okay with it.
Sega Genesis people are like Xbox people nowadays, who now they're like championing. They're like trying to make fun of PlayStation games
These
going
two.
on PC,
First
and
off,
it's just like, come on.
as
now.
a Nintendo shareholder, you cannot put me down because if you do, I will erase
Why did they let you?
the Super Nintendo from your memories. I have
No,
that
it's the
power.
greatest console of all time.
Miyamoto gave me that power. He
He
willed
gave you
it to me.
0.0084% of his
The
company's
Super
Listen,
stock.
Nintendo is
I
the
own-
greatest console of all time.
I own one hair on Mario's head, and I will
You
take it
vote-
all away from you.
If you vote at a shareholders meeting, it doesn't even equal 1.
I love the idea that Pez is opening up the stock portfolio every morning, and he's like, "Oh, Nintendo's down, damn it! Oh, what the hell? My stock's down." It's like, dude, it's down to 1/8 of a cent.
Listen, I do that with my
I know,
with
it's
my Nintendo and my Disney stock. That's all.
Do you sit there in the robe and the cigar every morning? You're just like, look at my portfolio.
The robe has my name
That's right.
stitched in it,
Yeah, it's all.
and then I
embroidered.
take a big smoke of my cigar and I go, you know what? I don't like this,
I-
and then I throw it
I
out the
do
window.
declare. You know, it's not a physical portfolio, right?
No, I wrote everything down on a piece of paper and put it in a portfolio.
I don't think you know how stocks work. That's not.
I believe they're called
doesn't mean-
stonks.
And they only go up.
Donks.
Stonks.
They only go up.
They only go up. It's all up. It's all
But-
uppy from here.
But I just don't think there's enough time for all these live service games. Like if all these companies are putting out these games, where is the mind share for everybody to be playing this every day? Like perfect
Yeah.
example, Matt, you play WWE every day.
All day, every day,
Wabba and
brother.
we hop into NHL every day.
Yeah.
I'm going to be soon hopping into MLB, and so is Pez. Okay, so there's our mind share. There's 30% of our gaming, 40% of our gaming. And then we have time for a single player game that doesn't involve online, right? And that's also 'cause-
Spider-Man. That's what I'm
our-
doing now. I'm going back
Exactly.
to Spider-Man. So I'm like wrestling and Spider-Man. That's all I have time for.
So Helldivers 2 came in and it was like, here's this game that it's on PC and it's on PlayStation and everybody can play it except Xbox players, but is what it is.
Correct, nerds.
Yeah, I'm at the point where I feel bad. I truly feel bad because it's like, one, they were like, oh, all our games are coming here. And I have both consoles. I don't care.
Don't you have PlayStations?
I think it's more like
Don't you guys own stocks?
I just don't
Stonks.
understand where they thought the people were going to come from to play all the, like, I still don't get it. Like the fact that Sea of Thieves is coming to PlayStation, I think that you'll get a whole bunch of people, but I truly think the success of Helldivers is because, and I can't believe I'm going to say this, it's because it was on PC.
Let's go! He
Finally,
admitted it.
our time to shine. We did it, Reddit.
Because if you console to console, they're like, I don't want to play with each other. But I can guarantee you the game Waba loves playing NHL. If the game was on PC, there'd be a bigger player base.
Oh, of course there would be. I mean,
100%.
that's
One,
kind of the
PC
way things are moving, though.
PC players are older. So, two, they have more money to spend. So these online live service games, they have more money to put into them.
Well, I think also too, PC players are used to that. Like console, yes, there are microtransactions and stuff, and I'm not saying like I'm not using. Yes, there are microtransactions held offers, but it's not in your face. But like PC players are used to that. Like a lot of the games, like in the past, a lot of the MMOs and things like that, like things that like we grew up on PC wise. Exactly, and like the sales and stuff, like they're used to this. I feel like console players either still aren't or just have this like huge adverse reaction to that type of business that PC players have kind of like, were born in that type
I
of
agree with that one because you grow up with like a PlayStation or an Xbox or earlier like us, your Nintendo's like it didn't exist. It's not until modern games now where you're like, why is every third game just cha-ching, give me this, add a credit card, need this, and like I want my stories. That's all I want to do. But I totally agree because on the PC side, it's such an open sandbox of every type of game you want to play with. So I think the exposure is probably there versus us. We get it on consoles and we're like, what do you want? He's
And
doing
I
up his
don't-
robe. And he's
I
like,
don't
what do you want
mind
from me? Why are you here?
I don't mind it if it's giving me value to the game that I like. Like for the Division, I buy the season pass.
Yeah.
But I play the living daylights out of the game. But the Division season pass, the one thing I do like about it, and I know Pez agrees because we talked about it, they do it differently. So they have a path, which is up at the top, and they're like, here's the battle pass, but they call it a season pass because the game was out before everybody called everything a battle pass. Let's be honest here, right? So they have a path where it's up at the top, and they're like, here's the things you can earn. If you you can still earn them without the season pass, but if you have the season pass, here's the extra things you can earn on the bottom.
Mhm.
So they're still giving you something. They're still giving you content if you're playing the game, rewarding you for playing it. But if you want to give money and get that little edge and get these cool little things, you can. And I don't mind battle passes. That's what a battle pass. I don't mind it. I think that's fair, especially if it's a game that's always on and you're going to be in the world and playing it all the time. It's when games do a little bit of what NHL does, where it annoys me, where they're literally trying to get your money at all times. And I don't know how 2K is. I've heard things about NBA 2K, but I don't know how wrestling
Oh
is.
boy,
but
NBA 2K will turn you upside down and shake all your
Good
lunch
thing
money
it's
out.
free on PS Plus then.
Mhm. But I
WWE
think battle
2K
passes are
has-
fine. So if you have these always online games, perfect example, Matt, if WWE 2K had a battle pass where it was something to grind towards, but you paid
Yeah.
$30 for it extra and you got rewards, you didn't have to worry about any of the microtransactions in the game, would you buy it?
Yeah, because it speaks to me. I'm the core dummy demographic for it, and they are doing something like that this year. It's not a battle pass, but they're my faction card game, card collecting thing. They have tweaked it. So the last 2 years, it has been roasted because it is like a grind fest, not much reward. If you really like collecting digital cards, maybe it's for you. But outside of that, there's no reward. But they would put exclusive models, characters, wrestlers in it that you could not play in the rest of the game. So if, for example, there was whoever, not that they
Booker
were in
T,
there,
I
but like
think,
Hulk
was one
Hogan.
of them or something like that.
What's that?
Wasn't there like Booker T or something like that last year?
Booker T and a bunch of other ones, a Stone Cold Steve Austin, different model, and they were all locked in there. You could not play them outside of the online thing, and you're like, but that's why I play my game. I want to go and do what I want. It was locked in the same. So they took that feedback and they went, okay, now we're going to slowly feed you guys exclusive characters you can grind for. You could pay if you want to do that, but you can easily grind through the stuff, get enough points, unlock the character, and now it's available in the full game. So they fixed it. So I commend them because I'm like, you actually did the thing we asked.
Mhm.
We hated that you literally blocked it. And now they said, okay, so if we give you a Booker T and we make him a Persona card, that means you can unlock him and you can play him in anything you want in the rest of the game. And you can either just grind it, and people will, or I could drop down $3 or $5 if I really want it. But at least it's my choice.
Mhm.
So to your point, if they dropped a battle pass, it's kind of what we're getting now. We're just grinding through this thing, and I'm in for it because I can hop in, do it if I really want to get that character, and bounce. I don't have to be locked into this, and it's not inundating. Other
Now,
than the main.
question about that one: is there like a time limit on when you can earn these things, or is it you could buy the game at
No.
any time and you can go in? Because that's one of
Yeah.
my criticisms for NHL. They do a lot. Everything is timed. All their events are timed. MLB The Show last year did something where they decided all the events weren't timed. They're all there. So if say you get the game, perfect example is a lot of times these games go on huge sales in the playoffs. So when the World Series
Yeah.
happens or NHL playoffs happens, you can get NHL for like $20. You can get
Yeah.
MLB The Show for like $20. A lot of people jump in them, but all the events that were had on all year, you can't play them.
Yeah.
But MLB
They
The
only
Show,
have-
you can
yeah.
go back and play all of them, the whole thing.
2K has live events, but that's only one piece of that online puzzle. The live events do have a clock on them. Most of them last over a week, but they put out, it's a different world because wrestling pay-per-views, they're running every single month. So they
Which makes
tie
sense.
in live events with the pay-per-views like a SummerSlam, a WrestleMania, and they theme it. So are you missing out? Sure, but there's so many other ways that you can grind and get cards and unlockables that it really, you don't have to play those live event things. You'll make more points and get all the stuff later. So yeah, it's just done a little bit differently, but it's improved from where it was. But it's, yeah, not every system and not every publisher is doing it the right way. That's for sure. Because
Yeah, because like
I jump into NBA once in a while, and it is what Bez is saying. It's like slot machine.
Mm-hmm.
Give it to me now. Like you
Like,
want to shoot the hoops? Oh
like
no.
I see what Fortnite's doing, and I get it because a lot of their stuff has to do with licensing. So if you went into that game, you can't get that skin or whatever. That's because they don't have the licensing for it anymore, which totally makes sense because that kind of stuff costs money. But Fortnite still allows you to go back and get stuff, and that's, I think, boils it down because I know Waba's going to have a whole thing about NHL, so I want to keep it on NHL. That's, I think, is my issue with NHL because even if the All-Star game happened before, that program should still be there to earn those cards, but they take it away. It drives me absolutely insane. Like it drives me out. Like they take away the carrot. They're like, "Hey, we're only going to give you this new carrot," and then they're like, "Why did my game die?" Like, I don't know, man.
Well, I mean, more recently, and I know we've talked about it a lot, but one, it's a game we all play a lot, and two, it's just the nonsense that's been happening the past few weeks. I will say this: the Toronto Maple Leafs have saved Hut, and I want to tell you a little bit about that. No, just hear me out. Let me land.
Well, I got Gretzky.
Exactly. I will make a video on this because I have 7 minutes of pack pulls. So randomly for St. Pat's Day, this is a Canadian thing, right? Is St. Pat's a Canadian thing?
Okay, first of all, it's a world thing.
No. I know St. Patrick, but is that the same thing, or is that like
No.
metric St. Patrick's Day?
No. So the Toronto
Then
Maple
why-
Leafs used to be, just listen. Instead of saying why, just listen.
metric.
So the Toronto Maple Leafs used to be called the Toronto St. Pats.
When?
Like-
When? Tuesday.
Like in
Was
a
this
long
like
time ago.
before or after like the Great Depression?
Before the NHL?
Okay. So-
So they used to be called the Toronto St. Pats.
Okay.
So
Sure.
you live in Boston, for God's sakes. Boston.
Well, no,
is
I
like-
know. I just why would it come out on Monday? Anyway, I shouldn't rely on this game to help my timeline.
True.
But they're fair. But they came out with a pack that's, hey, because the Leafs were the St. Pats, you can pay 22,500 coins and you get 5 Maple Leafs players. Everyone's like, okay, that's cool. That, that kind of makes sense. They've done this like theme before. Last week it was like Pacific Division
Yeah, so I
players.
thought they were
It was
going to
pretty
do
cool.
the other division. We were going to get those free packs, and that they didn't do that.
But the event ended up being bungus, but not in a bad way. Just nobody cares because this pack is game breaking. So on Monday, people discovered if you do this pack, you can get 5 Leafs players from any point in time. Now they've been pimping this like brand new, like, hey, here's all these like Leafs players. We're gonna do it under headliners. They have like overalls. You are getting like bananas nonsense that like you can't even get anymore. So
I got 95,
from the beginning of the game.
I got 95 Austin Matthews, and I got 92 Darcy Tucker in the same pack.
So people made this Austin
One
Matthews
pack.
like 3 weeks ago that you had to do all this stuff, spend all these resources, I think $500,000, and you could just pull him in the slot machine pack for 22,000. Not just that, but like I got a X Factor card. So X Factor card started in like the 70s, and then you upgrade him. He came out at 85, or like it's like that doesn't. You can't pull that pack. So I'm like, did some dude just forget to put a limit, a restriction on this line of code? And then they just said, whatever. So, by the way, they don't work on Monday. Like, there's no content on Monday, but they decided to release this, which is wild. And this pack is breaking everything. So I've described. I can't describe it accurately because
They've
I've
taken
described
it
it
out
two
'cause all
ways.
they have is the headliner pack now.
Oh, they did. They took it out. Well, I'm
They
going to
took
test
it
it tomorrow. So it's okay. So there's 3 days of lawlessness. So I haven't been able to accurately define it because I said it was hyperinflation, but that doesn't make sense because
No, it doesn't.
the prices of things are getting less expensive, and it's not hyperdeflation
I'll
because
give
the
you-
price of your current currency is actually going down.
So
because
Bob,
there
when
is
you
none.
told me all this, I had just over 450,000 coins. I went into the store. I was able to buy Wayne Gretzky, Nicholas Lindstrom, Brett Hall, Adam Oates, Steve Yzerman, Joe Sakic, Ray Bork, Milan Haytuk, and Peter Forsberg. I went and
The-
bought them all. That doesn't make any sense.
no,
They should have been
EA
able to.
has
I
ruined
did,
the
though.
market.
I just cleaned it up.
No,
Pretty good.
they ruined the market. So whatever the set prices were, it doesn't matter. So what people did was they just bought these packs like I did. I spent all my coins, 350,000, and I was getting 90s, 88s, all this stuff. And even if I'm not going to use the players, I'm going to use it for Team of the Season, which is coming up probably Friday. So whatever value you had already, it literally doesn't matter. If you were going to flip and you're going to use those, nobody has coins. So they've taken all the currency out of the market. And 2, nobody wants your nonsense because, I already got it for basically free. And it's the most insane thing I've ever seen
But
in
it's
like
all
a game with like a
players. That's
micro
like the
economy.
worst part of all of it.
It's and the worst part is it's the Leafs, but like luckily they have a lot of good overalls.
But MLB The Show does this all the time when they do the stub sales, Pez, and it doesn't ruin the economy. It does for like a week. So what'll happen in MLB The Show is they'll do a stub sale, and you'll be able to go out and buy packs for nothing, and you'll be able to buy stubs for nothing. So they'll put them on 50% off. So what'll happen is in MLB The Show, the live series cards, people use them as almost like the stock market. If you're watching baseball and you're like, oh, that guy's having a good week, people will go out and buy his card knowing that it's going to get a bump and it'll be worth more the following week. That's the way it works because you're watching baseball, right? So say a guy gets like, a no hitter in baseball, and the guy's card, you go look and oh my god, he's only rated in like a 70 something. Everybody in the world will go buy this guy's card, and they dictate the market price and the market low. So no matter what, the price of that card can't go any lower than this. I think that's the issue for NHL. Am I wrong, Pez? Like that, I think that's probably the only way to solve this for NHL.
Correct.
Because they don't. What happens is an 85 will have a market low. It has a quick sell value. So at the quick sale, it can never be sold below quick sale. So quick sale goes back to them, back to like MLB.
The other reason is because it's untradeable. So you're taking these coins out of the market. And so it's basically you're putting a $50 bill into a machine and getting a gold bar back, which is cool, but you can't spend it anywhere. That's exactly what this is. You can only trade it in for certain things. It's wild, and also the reason why it's like impacting the game so much is because bozos like me who like love this game are the only ones playing it. MLB The Show's coming out in a few days. All these folks are going to transfer over. They're people with their stream titles. NHL stream for a while. Like I said this last week. I'm saying the same thing. I know we talked about that
last
but like literally, you have a chance to make a final impression. Whatever you do, the last event you make is so bad that you have to give these like freebies that nobody even wants anymore to try to help incentivize people to do it. And the next thing is you release this God pack that makes no sense, and yeah, I benefited from it. So now people are loading up for your next event, which God knows everyone's like, oh man, wouldn't it be funny if they just changed the way and you don't trade in cards? Lol, you can only use coins. Because and I wouldn't be shocked. So it's a wild happening I've never seen in any of my years in NHL. In any really I've never seen it anywhere, even like in like any sort of standard market with any sort and I like flip garbage. I've never even seen like this in any sort of like little microeconomy with any product. It's so wild, and I don't even have a word to describe it because hyperinflation and hyperdeflation don't even account for both sides of the coin. It's so wild.
Yeah, but if they did what I just said, if they did a quick sell value on it, because
they have a quick sell, but the quick sell value is nothing. Oh yeah, wait, no, you can't quick sell it untradeable.
Well, so that's the other thing. I think the two issues. I think the issue with NHL's economy is one, the quick sell value makes no sense. Like a 90 card has got like a 900 quick sell, and two, everything is untradeable. Every time you earn something, it's untradeable. They don't let you do anything with it. The way MLB The Show works, every card you earn, unless it's like one to make a set, once you put it into a set, then it's untradeable. But other than that, but you can still get to use it. Like when you put it in a set, you don't lose it. But other than that, everything is sellable.
Fair. But yeah, I don't know. I don't even know if there's a way. There's not a way to fix it this year. It was just an interesting happening that I
Hands up if
wanted
you're
to
gonna
share
play
with
MLB
folks.
The Show when it comes out on Game Pass.
Oh, I'll try. I'll try for a minute. Peasant Court are all in on this.
Matt's
I'm all
playing
in.
it. It's on Game Pass. Matt's not gonna not play it. Matt's
However,
gonna play the
I'm
Blue
playing the
Jays.
show.
I'm all in
I'm
on franchise and March to October. Sign me up.
What did you tell me today? The change they're doing?
The biggest change
Besides
is one of the big
March
changes.
Besides the fact that they have all the steroids legends.
One
Besides Bob.
Do they?
finally.
They do. All of them right now.
Dingers.
Finally. One of the things they're doing in franchise, for all my franchise homies out there listening, one of the things that they put in is if you scout prospects enough, they can potentially be two-way players. So much like Ohtani, they can be pitchers and hitters.
And you can create a two-way player now too,
You
right?
can create a two-way player for Road to the Show. And they were saying, diamond in the roughs, like you could draft a generational talent.
Well,
who would
Road
be
to
like,
the Show doesn't count towards Diamond Dynasty anymore.
which is also huge because create a player
Fungus.
is stupid.
It was so good though.
That was terrible.
So easy.
It was
Come on now.
terrible. I didn't want to face Joe Random in his forkball in online. It was horrible.
Fair.
And if you get lucky, you can find like a high rated player who is great at hitting and pitching, much like Shohei Ohtani. So that's a big change because he was the cover athlete in 22. And it just adds a little bit more juice to franchise mode. I'm really looking forward to diving in and detailing the differences in franchise compared to MLB 23. Because I
smell
stopped
videos coming out of pads.
I stopped playing Diamond Dynasty last year because I kind of got sick of the grind and I hate their season model. I hate their sets model. So I spent a lot more time offline, and some of the offline changes sound good, but I need to get my hands on to see if they're actually implemented well. But I'm excited for the show, man. Like, again, I feel like they do a pretty good job really listening to player feedback and making those changes. But again, we're not going to know how those changes really are implemented into the game until we get our hands on it. But yeah,
It looks good. I don't know. I
watched
watched that stream today. The game looks, man.
Here's my biggest thing about MLB The Show. The net code blows. So like when you play someone online, there are these weird hitches. Like when you hit the ball, all of a sudden there's like a 1 second stop. And it throws me off every year and I hate it. And I wish it was more fluid online, but it's not.
How's the online for WWE, Matt?
Not good. They need a lot of work, but they have every year. It's a lot of complaints online that it's not stable enough, and it's a time-based thing. Like you're trying to reverse someone's move, and it's like, I played online yesterday. I was just trying to do one simple match, one-on-one, and it would load, and then it's like it's glitching and it's chugging, and then we would get through like 2 minutes, and then we're separated again, and then we're back, and then it crashes. And you're like, okay,
Is it because, and I'm going to ask this because I don't play sports games online. Is it because not as many people play it online as we think?
No, I think it's because they just don't make it a priority to have like super smooth gameplay.
I think because all of them are annualized titles, they have to go through their list of what is top priority, and they go down. That's my guess. And they look at something like online and they go, we're going to keep taping this thing and just keep taping it, and it's stable. What else can we do to the online? And if they go revamp the whole thing, you'd be like, well, then we'll see in 5 years.
Yeah, and I don't...
It's not a quick fix, so we have to keep taping it.
I don't know if like 2K... I don't know if WWE 2K23's servers are still online, but if they are, think about it. So they... you have servers dedicated to 22, 23, and 24. Like, you can't just allocate all that to the new game.
They shut down the previous years in January.
Gotcha.
So 23 is still up? Yeah. 23 is still up? Yeah, I think so. 22 is gone for sure.
Yeah. So, some of that server allocation is still for a game that's, over a year old.
And I think so too with, again, with if it's MLB or it's NHL or WWE, I think they got an 8-month cycle to put out another game, and they got to look at what are the top fixes, stuff we have to get done from last year that got to change this year, and they just got to keep hammering down that list all year.
Would you guys rather, instead of getting a yearly release, having a roster update / battle pass system that's
Yes.
cheaper, but not much changes on the game? But look at Fortnite. Fortnite's been able to change graphics, right?
If yeah, they switched to a whole new engine. They went to Unreal Engine 5. If NHL came out and the game was just called NHL and it's free to play, okay? Or like WWE comes out and it's just called WWE 2K and it's free to play and it's like, here is a $15 battle pass for season 1, which they do anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Get your your for NHL be like, here's your roster update, but also here's your World of Chell garbage. Here's like some hot garbage. And they just keep doing it that way. I
Tells
mean,
how you really feel.
yeah, well, I mean, it is garbage. Like, okay, they put you're gonna put me on I'm sorry, I'm doing it. They put a freaking battle pass in World of Chell, and all it is garbage cosmetics. It's
garbage.
I don't know anyone who's bought it.
It's just terrible. I got the first season because I got it as part of the game, and I never used any of the stuff because I don't want my guy to have like monkey hand gloves because it's stupid.
No,
I don't. Just give me my Centennial Bruins jersey that took 4 months to come out. But yeah, it just I think if annualized sports games were more of a live service update that was free to play and not a $70 in air quotes experience where you still have to pay money to get the full game, battle passes, DLC, whatnot. I think the industry, like the sports game industry, would come a very long way, but that's never going to happen.
Have a bigger player base because a lot of times people will buy one game and skip the next year.
Yeah, I mean, I bought WWE 2K24 and then just didn't buy the years after because 20 was a mess and I just kind of fell off of it until 24 when I saw
29. You bought it in the future?
19. 19. You know what I meant. You know what I
You
meant.
had a DeLorean.
I meant,
But
you
that's
meant what you said.
I hear that too. It's like people are like Pez, where it's like, yeah, I got 22, skip 23, didn't look like that big of a jump. Some people are intentional and they're like, I skip every other year because I'm like, I'll get a bigger roster. I will get something that will seem a lot different than what I have. People can't afford stuff. Like games are $90. Like it's over 100. The 40 years of WrestleMania version in Canada after tax is like $180.
Ooh, good Lord.
That's everything. It's so expensive here. So you have to be sure. And then you hope it's good. Like, are you going to get your money's worth?
Double doubles.
That's a lot. It's a lot for
Roll up to
anybody.
that
That's
rim,
like
baby.
$60, $80.
Hey, it is roll up the
so
rim right
much.
now. I should do some roll up the rims on my phone.
And when you know that you're going to be like in the next 8 months, they're going to start advertising the next year's game. So you're like, can I just hold out and do these updates and DLCs and go? Court, on the WWE side, it's always a conversation piece of like, should it be a live service game? And I've been pro and con for it because in wrestling, it's what are you doing? What are you doing right now? What are you doing?
He's rolling to the rim.
Okay, that's a good idea. But it's different in wrestling because maybe it's similar, but the contracts are all different, right? So they're like, we can license these wrestlers this year, but we can't next year. Their Legends contract's up, so we can have them this year, but they're gone. And that happens every single year. They're like, we can do this, we can't do this. Wrestlers leave. So like someone's contract's up this year, then they go to AEW or somewhere else. They can't be still in the game. So they could go in and they could actually remove them and do that way if it's a live service. But then you get into a lot of problems with.
Yeah, but
does that mess anything up?
Technically live, they have to ping a server anyways. Because like I've heard,
Yep.
like perfect example is like I have every NHL game, and when I said that I collected them all, someone was like, actually, some of them won't work if you put them in, and the newer ones are like, what do you mean? He's like, well, the servers are down, so the game won't work at all.
No.
So the older ones will, but I think it's like 2022 and up. I can't play those games.
Yeah, NBA 2K does that a lot. Where if you have an older version, you just can't play it anymore. Servers down.
Yeah.
And like,
WWE does it too, but they shut down the servers for online, but you can still play the base game.
Thinking of like WWE, even things like gimmick changes, right? because they have to have the roster done at a certain point, and if a wrestler changes their gimmick, like you just have to deal with their old music, old entrance, old whatever. So
but that's where the pros of a live service are there, where it's like if you had a live service game and I paid for the battle pass, I'm constantly, in theory, I'm getting these constant updates of like The Rock came out with a new Titantron or new look. Okay, we're gonna drop that in a month.
Yeah.
And if you can grind for him, pay for it, and you're gonna get him and be like, yes, more. And then at the end of the day, you probably spent $300-400 on this game.
I think they would make more money and have a bigger player base if they did it this way.
Yeah, I think so, because the barrier to entry is 0. The cost is negligible to the user, and they'll walk in there. Then you have your hardcore base who will consume all of it automatically every week.
Your
and the casuals will spend more money.
The whales are always going to be there. And I think the biggest issue I find even with NHL is I watch WABA all the time. WABA's like, well, no one's online. I can't play with them.
Yeah. It's like a Wednesday
But if
afternoon.
the game was free to play, everybody's online.
Fair.
As long as the online works.
The NHL online works pretty decent.
It's I don't because I also live in an area with servers and industry. You know, we have one of the servers.
Don't you live in Massachusetts?
Take that,
server,
Oklahoma.
like a man comes by and he's
I'm just yeah,
While we're looking at
get wrecked, QC, you QC nerds. But
dude, you got to get over the thing with the hating of people from Quebec. It's like it's getting old.
I will not, and
You don't like people from Quebec?
No, I just hate that they put QC in their PlayStation names.
You know what? As an eShow player, Waba, I sympathize with you.
It's horrid.
I'm a Waba sympathizer.
Regional hater. Thank you. But two final things we just want to talk about, more housekeeping things. Next week, no show. Why? Oh no. We're gonna be at PAX.
We're shutting
down.
So bye.
We're shut down.
We moved to PAX.
Bye, Felicia.
It's like I live there now.
So we're gonna be at PAX. So if you are gonna be at PAX, we're gonna be there on Thursday and Friday. Please let us know. We'd love to say hi. Just hit up on Twitter, any of our individual ones, or you can hit us up on our Three Dads Twitter. We're really looking forward to it. We're gonna have a lot of good content for all of you. We are going to be meeting with several companies. I don't want to share the schedule yet because I don't know what we're supposed to share or not, but we do have more or less a full day booked, and that's very exciting. I know I'm excited. I know the guys are excited.
2 full days booked.
Oh, there we go. It's just really cool. I don't know. And it's just a really cool opportunity for us.
I get to play a video game behind the scenes.
Behind the scenes.
Behind the guy.
Please tell us how Barbie's horse adventure is, by the way. After you play it.
So,
you just do one of these. Just give me an emoji in the chat. It's Barbie's horse.
It's game of the year. But yeah, so that's gonna be good. So if you're there, let us know. Also, the last thing we want to do, which we've had ready for a while, but we haven't brought it up, and I know we talked about monetization and microtransactions, so I'm sorry. But we have a store. So if you like us and you want to support us, this is a way to do it. We have awesome merch.
If you want to buy our merch, you don't have to like us.
Fair, that's actually true. You don't have to like us at all.
You can hate buy all our stuff.
Where is it?
We have things like stickers with the Mega Man heads. We have X Boys, if you remember that. That famous clip from our YouTube, the X Boys. We have a lot of other, inside jokes for us. We've got the Mega Man heads. We've got the Nintendo Nerd shirt. We've got mugs. We've got stickers that you can give your kids. I'm going to get my daughter some of the Three Dad stickers. And my personal favorite, a hat that says "This hat hits the ceiling," courtesy of Pez's weird Simpsons reference. That I still don't think a majority of folks have seen, but we all know.
Which Simpsons episode is that?
It is the one. It is the one where it is the one with Skinner is leaving and they're all sitting in class and he's like, no, it's the one with Fall Out Boy. It's the one with Fall where
I gotta fix the air conditioning.
Yeah, it's the one with when Milhouse becomes Fall Out Boy and he announces it over the PA system and then all the hats go.
All the hats go up. Okay.
Yeah.
So your hat, you can have a hat that hit the ceiling at our store. There's also a way to support us as well, where you get a discount to the store. And just to let you know, if you choose to do it, great. We'd love to see photos of you when the merch arrives. It's through Fourth Wall. It's a company that a lot of streamers use. I actually have some merch that I've won through giveaways in Fourth Wall. Very high quality, actually, shirts, hats, things like that. And it all goes towards basically hosting costs for the podcast, for the website, and things like that. So it's just a way to help us keep doing what we're doing. It's a way to support us in that way. And, you know, we're going to keep doing it. And, you know, we're excited to show you a lot of content from next week. So stay tuned. To get to the site, it's on our website, 3dadsconsole.com. We're going to make an article about it, but there's also a, in the top right, there's like all our little like icons for like socials. There's a square there right now. I'm going to change the icon. It doesn't look as good as I thought it would. It's a sign that says we're open. I'm sorry. I had to do it during the stream, but it's there. Anything else? Any last thoughts? Oh no, dad joke. Who has one?
You were supposed to have one.
Okay,
Oh
I'll tell the one I didn't
being
get to on the video. Why? You guys already heard it. Matt hasn't heard it. Why are the windows on ships round?
I don't.
It's so the water doesn't hit you square in the face.
Still good, man. Every time. Still good.
It's actually because like structurally circles won't. You know.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you very much,
No.
folks, for joining us. Thank you, Matt, for hanging out with us. We appreciate you coming on and talking wrestling. And
where
yeah,
can
thank you for
before
your
we
time.
leave, where can the good people find you, Matt? Considering
Still
Waba
figuring
isn't
out the-
even a Waba isn't
Figuring
even
out the
a
boat.
Waba's not even being a good host. Where can the people find you, Matt?
That's nice. I'm more concerned about this boat joke with the square. I mean,
It's really good.
let me tell you something. Let me tell you something, brother. Ooh yeah, daddy.
yeah, where can they find
yeah.
you?
Nowhere on the internet, nowhere good. Oh no.
Parts unknown.
Parts unknown.
Of
daddy.
course she's gonna leave.
YouTube.com/assemble show. You
so
can find me
tired.
there. You're so tired?
Yeah.
It's not
Anyway,
about you.
I know.
Tell me another dad joke. I want to be entertained.
If you want to be
Bloom,
entertained, you can
George.
go to youtube.com/dudes on the console and see all our upcoming reviews and other content as well.
Bingo, bango, bongo.
Bams.
Thank you very
All right.
much. We'll see you soon, and we'll see you in 2 weeks.